Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego, and it's time for another live stream here on your favorite YouTube channel, the K1 Visa Green Card channel. Today is July 22nd, 2026. It is 6 p.m. Central Time, and it is 81 degrees outside here in the Panhandle of Florida, near Pensacola. It's a beautiful day. We were lucky we didn't get hit by that tropical storm Bertha or whatever it was name was. The tropical storm was right there on the outside in the Gulf of America, skipping by us, and it was really close, but we didn't get hit, so we were lucky. Thank goodness for that. But we did get plenty of rain, which was pretty good. We needed the rain, and Karina just joined us for the live stream, and she was changing into her blue shirt. She was trying to find a shirt that matched my shirt, but her shirt is bluer than my shirt. I think it's much nicer, actually. But I'm wearing the Zion Canyon T-shirt that Karina purchased for me in Zion Canyon National Park in Utah when we were out there on vacation. A couple of last month or so, and we're already planning our next vacation. So be ready for that. Stay tuned for that. If you have any questions on how to process a green card or a K1 visa, please ask me the questions right here. Do not be on the phone with immigration attorneys or USCIS when I can answer the question for you right here. Remember, though, it's not legal advice, and I don't work for USCIS, and I'm not an immigration attorney. But you don't need an immigration attorney to file for a green card or a K1 visa. It's an easy peasy process. It's not difficult. You just got to pay attention to details. You just got to know how to read and write. You got to know how to spell. Maybe add and subtract. Add and subtract is when you have to fill out the affidavit of support or the declaration of financial support, and you're trying to figure out family size and things like that. But basically, the process is very easy. Now, an immigration attorney is going to charge you a lot of money to fill out your 2-year green card application, adjustment of status, or for your 10-year green card lifting conditions process using Form I-751, or filing a basic K-1 visa on Form I-129F. Very expensive. Save the money, use it for your honeymoon, for your wedding, for more trips out to visit your beautiful fiance in whatever country he or she lives in. Excuse me, I have allergies. Living in Florida, have these allergies. And my eyes start watering, my nose starts running, blah, 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 cry me a river. But hey, I like living here in Florida where it's low taxes, nice and warm, no snow, and great people. Karina loves Florida. See, take us to Florida. Karina is loving Florida and enjoying her life over 2 years now in the United States. She loves her job, and she is now studying hard to become a U.S. citizen, which should be the ultimate goal of all green card holders in this country, to become a U.S. citizen, right? You want to live in this country, you want to work in this country, you want to enjoy the benefits of this country, then become an American. Just my opinion. If you don't want to become an American, then that's fine too. Some people who live in the Philippines or Thailand or Indonesia, they own property in those countries, and they're kind of leery about becoming a U.S. citizen because if you are an American citizen, you are not allowed to own property in the Philippines, Thailand, or Indonesia. So that's what's probably holding back some folks from those countries if they own property. But, hey, I can understand that. You don't want to lose your inheritance, right? Living in the greatest country in the world, the United States, is a blessing. You come here, you work hard, you will succeed, but you got to work hard. You can't be sitting around on your backside waiting for things to come to you. You have to go out and find it and work for it, and you will succeed. Don't sit around waiting for things to come to you. It doesn't work that way in this country. You have to go out and you have to work for it. And if you're willing to work, if you have sweat equity in your blood, then you're going to do fantastic here. Also, you should learn English. If you can learn English, if you don't speak English, you're going to have to learn English if you want to succeed in this country. Learning English is difficult. Karina's learning English. She signed up for English classes. She's been studying and July has been the summer break for her from her college. So starting in August, she'll be back to her English classes. And she's getting there slowly but surely. She's going to be speaking English. She does pretty good, not too bad. And I have complete faith and confidence that she will do well and get ready for her U.S. citizenship processing. I don't care what executive orders the President Trump has signed, okay? The Immigration and Nationality Act has said Karina can become a U.S. citizen if she qualifies. President Trump cannot say you can't be a citizen of this country as long as you follow the Immigration and Nationality Act and you qualify for the benefit. One person doesn't have that authority, and he's learning that the hard way with the Congress of the United States, who are the legal authority for immigration into the USA. We are here to help you. We're going to ask that if you have a question, just write it here in the comments, and I will answer it for you right here while we're here. Just ask the question. There's no such thing as a stupid question when you're trying to get a green card approved or a K-1 visa approved. Or maybe you don't know how to set up your visa interview at the embassy, your consulate interview. Are you not sure how to do that? How to set up your consulate interview? If you don't know how to do it, I'll help you. I helped a gentleman and his fiance. He was in Germany. I helped him set up his beneficiary's consulate interview at the U.S. Embassy in Frankfurt, Germany. If you are from Japan, don't forget Japan has got 2 embassies in the north and in the south. I think there's 2 main islands. And so if you're from Japan, I can help you with the embassy processing there. But the only way I know how to help you is if you tell me that you need help. And if you tell me you need help, I'm here for you. I'm retired, okay? I'm retired from 3 different things. The military, U.S. military, from working for Mercedes-Benz and BMW. I retired from that and Lincoln. And I'm retired from real estate. But you know what? I'm going to probably just go ahead and go back to school and get my real estate license renewed, just so I have it. You never know. It might come in handy, right? The hard part, I guess, of the real estate school is the math, just trying to figure out the math part. But I'm not worried about it. I'm a math wizard. If I can get a green card approved for Karina in 3 months, I can figure out a basic math question on a real estate exam. The process for lifting the conditions off of a 2-year green card to a 10-year green card is easy, but there's a long wait once your paperwork is accepted by USCIS. You got to get it accepted. You cannot make any mistakes on the I-751. Once it's accepted, you're going to receive a letter from immigration extending your beneficiary's 2-year green card for 48 months. So you're going to go into a 4-year extension. Then you're going to get a letter to go to your biometrics. Remember, everybody's getting biometrics now. In the past, when you lifted the conditions off of a 2-year green card, maybe they just used your old biometrics from the last time you went, but not anymore. Now you have to repeat the biometrics 2 years later. I can understand, they're doing security checks on everybody. They're very security conscious right now. So you go to your biometrics and then you have to wait. It could take a year, maybe a year and a half before you hear back from immigration once they accept your application to lift the conditions off your 2-year green card. So don't be surprised if there is a 1 year, maybe a 2-year wait after you get it. But you have the letter of extension, okay? So that gives you legal status in the United States to continue living and working here, happily married to your American citizen sponsor. Don't sweat it. Don't stress it. Just don't make any mistakes on the paperwork when you file the paperwork. Immigration right now are not very patient with people that make mistakes on paperwork. They just don't have the patience because it slows them down. They could be approving somebody or working on somebody's paperwork instead of having to stop and send it back to you because you messed up the paperwork because you don't pay attention to details. So make sure you submit a perfect package, no problems, no mistakes, no errors, and then immigration will be happy with you, and then you'll be smiling when your 10-year green card gets approved. No doubt there will be an interview for the 10-year green card application. Make sure that you keep saving the evidence okay, for your 10-year green card application. So you got your 2-year green card. 2 years have passed. You've now filed for your 10-year green card. You must keep on collecting the evidence for your 10-year green card interview. You must file joint tax returns together. You have 2 already under your belt, right? When you filed for the 10-year green card. By the time you go for the 10-year green card interview, you should have maybe 3 at a minimum, maybe 4 tax returns under your belt. File jointly as husband and wife. Do not file separately for taxes. If American citizen sponsor at any time during the process you have filed a separate tax return while married to a foreign national who is in the United States or overseas, I recommend you amend the tax return and redo it as a couple. You can amend a tax return. It's not against the law to do that. Now, I'm not a CPA, I'm not an immigration attorney, and I don't give you legal advice, okay? But I'm telling you, I've been doing this for over 13 years. I know how to do it in my sleep. The process is easy. I've processed hundreds of green card applications and K-1 visas. It's not difficult. I know the answer before you even have the question most of the time. But like I said, if you are stressing this process, don't. The U.S. government is not trying to stop you from getting a green card. I don't know, maybe President Trump is, I know, but for the most part, this country is looking to bring you into this country so long as you do it legally, okay? As long as you follow the rules of the Immigration and Nationality Act, and you will be qualified for the benefit. Make sure your income is sufficient, okay, Mr. American Citizen Sponsor. Make sure you fill out the paperwork correctly. Make sure that you don't have any criminal records, and that's not going to block you from a green card or a K-1 visa, and you will be fine. Now, Francois is first up to bat. Francois Livingston in upstate New York, married to Hamid from Morocco, where they had their K-1 visa interview at the U.S. consulate in the United Arab Emirates. Good evening, Diego and Karina. Francois, how are you, Francois? How is Hamid? How is everybody doing? I got Mountain Dew stacked up over here. Look at that. I can't drink Mountain Dew because it's got too much sugar in it for my blood. But I know that's just memories of my Mountain Dew salutes, okay? So, and I got a Coke can here too. I don't know if I could balance that one. I don't know. That's getting dangerous now. Gravity's going to kick in and knock it over. There we go. I'll put it down right there. This channel is for you guys. This channel was created in Bogota, Colombia. The idea was formulated by Karina in Villa de Leyva, Colombia. Okay. The channel's been running for what? 6 years now. I just got a notice from immigration. I got a notice from YouTube saying, your channel is 6 years old, Diego. Well, remember, the channel started as a food channel. I was cooking different kinds of food and doing recipes. Then I turned it into a exploring Colombian channel. And then we changed it, Corinne and we changed it into this immigration channel. Francois Livingston, I'm good. All is good, very good. Hamid is super good, super good. He's doing some outside home improvement to our house. Very well, that's good. Get it done in the summertime, because in the wintertime, it's going to be cold outside in upstate New York. You're going to be in snow up 6 feet deep. So it's probably a good idea to get all the home stuff, the home improvement stuff done outside the house during the summertime. So that's good. We're glad to hear. So now, and Las Barreras. Hi, Diego and Corina. What's going on, Las Barreras? ¿Cómo estás? Muy bien. ¿Tu día bien? See? Francois, don't mention that white stuff. Well, it's snow. I lived in Staten Island, Francois, and in the blizzard of 82, April of 1982, I got freaking snowed in Staten Island. I was living with my aunt in Staten Island, and I got snowed in. The snow was, 10 feet high outside the freaking townhouse. I had to climb out of the second-story window down to get out of the house. The window, because the door was blocked with snow. So I cleared the snow from the path to the road, and then I don't know how legal that is now with the communist Mayor Mamdani running New York City. That communist, I can't stand that guy. But I don't know how the rules are now in 2026. But in 1982, I was allowed to clear the snow, and that's what I did. The neighbors and my aunt's house. And then after I got the snow cleared, I said to my aunt, please, once the road gets clear, drive me to John F. Kennedy Airport in Queens. And she said, why? I said, because I'm not living in New York anymore. The place is cold, it's snowing, and it's taxed out the back. I can't stand these taxes. So my aunt drove me to John F. Kennedy Airport. I got on a plane, one-way ticket to Jacksonville, Florida. And then in Jacksonville, Florida, I got on a Greyhound bus and just drove across the panhandle of Florida. And I found Fort Walton Beach. And I said, yeah, this place looks pretty cool. And that's what I did. I got off the bus there, got a job in Fort Walton Beach, and the rest is history. Let's see. Let's see. Francois, haven't been on here for a while. Sorry, missed hearing about Diego and Karina's adventures. We're always having adventures. Now, Karina's day off is tomorrow. She has a day off tomorrow from work. So we're going to go on. I don't know. I'll plan an adventure for us tomorrow. We'll go somewhere. I don't know where. We'll go somewhere. Maybe the beach. Well, I don't know. But this tropical storm is kicking up some serious weather here. Las Barreras. Yes, after you answered me about the revoked work permit, más tranquila. Yeah, no preocupáis, Las Barreras, no preocupáis. It's irrelevante. The work permit's irrelevant. The green card is what you don't listen, guys. Don't waste your money filing for a work permit and a green card. How much is the work permit? $260 is it? What is it? $265 for the work permit, and then $1,440 for the green card, and then don't even waste your money on the travel document. That's $600 something. Just file for the green card, because what's going to happen is immigration's going to get your green card approved, and they're going to receive your work permit documentation, and then they're going to send you a letter saying, or an email saying that your work permit has been revoked because it's no longer relevant. Once you have an approved green card in the process, your work permit becomes irrelevant. So they're going to revoke it. And then you're going to text me in YouTube, hey, Diego, my work permit got revoked. What do I do? And you say, and I tell you, don't file for the work permit. Just apply for the freaking green card. Save the money. Use that $260, whatever it is, and take your new wife or husband out to dinner somewhere. It's a waste of time. The work permit is it's ridiculous. It's you're throwing money away. Okay. Chopper Harley, I still have not received my form I-797C receipt notice for the 2-year green card extension. So you're talking about the 48-month letter of extension. So your fiance, isn't she from Burma? If I remember, Chopper Harley, she's from Burma, right? And she had her 2-year green card, and then you filed for the 10-year green card, and you have not received the extension letter yet, the 48-month extension letter, since USCIS received your application. Well, it could take anywhere from Cambodia. I thought it was Burma. Where did I get Burma in my brain from? Cambodia. That's right, from Cambodia. I try to remember everybody. Okay, I'm not as young as I used to be. So she's from Cambodia. It's going to take sometimes between 2 to 3 months, depending on the process. But what I would do is contact USCIS and ask them what's going on. Just give them a call. It's been 8 weeks since USCIS received my application. This is for the 10-year green card, correct? And you received notification from FedEx or UPS or DHL that they had delivered your 10-year green card application to immigration. So the courier service notified you that it's been delivered. You have proof of delivery with a receipt. You said you contacted USCIS. I was told that the receipt notice has not yet been printed. Okay? They didn't tell you that the documents were not accepted. They said it hasn't been printed yet. So they're backlogged with work. So just hang in there. You're going to get it. You'll get it. Okay? If there was an issue with your green card application for the 10-year green card application, then they would have told you over the phone. So right now, you're just waiting for them you're in line in the queue for the printout. You'll get it. You're good. Don't worry. And I'm sorry, Chopper Holly. I thought she was from Burma. She's from Cambodia. That's right. I remember now. Cambodia. That borders Thailand, right? Cambodia borders Thailand and Vietnam, I believe. I think there's northern part of Southwest Asia. Beautiful weather, always hot and tropical, right? Just like Florida, hot and tropical. And Karina's getting used to this tropical weather. Although she almost got to experience her first hurricane, but it turned into a tropical storm and it skirted us in the Gulf of America. So it just skirted us across. It didn't come inland. It's going to probably hit Texas. But hey, living here, it is what it is. So we'll check the weather later on and we'll decide we'll do something tomorrow, or maybe we'll just hang out at the house. I don't know. I'm preparing to renew my Florida real estate license. I'm just bored out of my mind doing nothing other than this, although this is fun. So I'm going to have to renew my I got to take a freaking test again. I got to take a 28-hour course and then take a test, an exam, to renew my Florida real estate license, because I let it lapse. I let it go out of sync. So right now it's just it's sitting there. So I got to renew it, but I had to go back to class to do it. So wish me luck on that, because I really don't like taking tests, but I'll take it. And Karina's laughing because she's been taking tests for years now in the United States for her English class. She takes a test every 6 months. I think there's exams. Las Barreras, good luck. Buena suerte. Thank you. Yeah, I just got to take this. I took the class already. It was a 28-hour class. I already took the class. Now I got to just take this freaking test. So I've been studying. So if I pass the test, it's a long exam. Okay. If I pass it, then my real estate license will be reactivated and I'll be live again. And then I just got to put my name with the broker. Then I can sell houses and stuff. You got this, says Francois. Thank you, Francois. Ricky Robinson. Hi, Diego. I did receive the RFE and I need to send a copy of my fiance who is in Bogota, a copy of her divorce decree. Of her divorce decree? Doesn't she have it? Do I send it in Spanish as is? Yeah, you can. Listen. So you received the RFE and you need to send a copy of your fiance who is in Bogota, a copy of her divorce decree. Not your divorce decree, Ricky. Her divorce decree. She can't get a copy of her divorce decree from the courts in Bogota. It's easy to do. Just go into the courthouse in Bogota and ask for a copy of the divorce decree. And you don't have to translate it into Spanish. No, not for the U.S. Embassy in Bogota do not need documents translated from Spanish into English. But you will need it translated from Spanish into English when you apply once she gets to the United States. Okay. So I'm assuming you're running a spousal visa, right? Or are you running a K-1 visa? Remind me, are you under a K-1 or a spousal visa? I can't remember. I try to remember. So Ricky Robinson, are you working through a K-1 visa or are you working through a spousal visa? And then I can, but you don't have to get it translated into English, okay? It's not necessary for the U.S. Embassy in Bogota. But when you send documents to immigration in the United States, okay, whatever it is you're applying for, a 2-year green card or a 10-year green card, then you have to have it translated into English. Now, let me write down here. I recommend this company. This company don't pay me to say this. I don't get any gratuity, okay? But if you need any documents translated, use the Spanish group. It's a company in California. They're very quick. They're very inexpensive, and they are authorized. USCIS has authorized this company to translate documents because they issue an ATA number to the translation. I got itchy, man. All these allergies driving me crazy from living in Florida. It's one of the cons of living here is the allergies. So you said you got an RFE. You need to send a copy of your fiance who is in Bogota, a copy of her divorce decree. You can send it to her FedEx if you want to. FedEx delivers in Bogota. I've seen FedEx offices all over Bogota. I mean, I lived in Bogota with Karina for 3 years. I can probably tell you where the closest FedEx offices are. I know where they all are. Okay, after living there for so long, I know the city just as well as I know my backyard here in Florida. Right? What? See? See, mi amor. It's true. It's real. Es verdad. We hope everybody's hanging in there during this green card process. I really hope you're not stressing the process. Even if you get an RFE, please don't stress the process. If you haven't received paperwork yet from immigration and it's taken longer than anticipated, don't stress it. They didn't forget about you. You didn't get a notice of intent to deny. You didn't get a letter saying that your green card has been denied. None of that stuff is happening to you guys, right? You're just in a slow hurry up and wait process, like when I was in the military. When I was in the Navy, it was all hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait. Everything was hurry up and wait. Ricky Robinson, yes, she have it. Yes, she has what, Ricky? What does she have? What do you mean she has it? She has the divorce decree? You said I did receive the request for further evidence. I need to send her a copy of my fiance who's in Bogota, Colombia. Oh, so you're working on a K1. Okay. So you're on a K1. You filed a K1 visa, right? It took a year until they finally got to your case, right? Didn't it take over a year for them to adjudicate your K1 visa application? And then you got an RFE, and the RFE is a copy of her divorce decree. Well, now seeing that it is the United States Service Center that is requesting a copy of her divorce decree, you must translate it into English. If you have a copy of the divorce decree for her side, she was married to a Colombian, perhaps got divorced in Colombia, it's in Spanish. Get the divorce decree certified. It has to be a certified copy of the divorce decree. Ricky, yes, I am applying for the K1 visa, and the letter stated I need to send back a copy of her divorce decree. So USCIS Service Center, I'm assuming California, is saying that they need a copy of her divorce decree. Make sure, okay, that's what I'm reading, right? Am I reading that correctly? You must get the divorce decree certified. It needs to be a certified copy from the courthouse in Colombia, and then you must get it translated into English. Use the Spanish group that I just mentioned, and they'll translate it for you in 3 or 4 days. They will email you the translation with an ATA certificate. You can use that and send that to the address that they told you to mail the RFE to. But because you're working a K1, okay, you got to get it translated into English. If you were going through a spousal visa, I need to send a copy of her divorce decree to Homeland Security. Okay, whoever they told you to send it to. But I wanted to know if it's okay to send it as is in Spanish. No, you have to get it translated into English because it's inside the United States. Homeland for a copy of her divorce decree. It must be you must have the certified copy in Spanish, plus it must be translated into English. If you needed the divorce decree for the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, you don't have to translate it into English. But because you are needing to send it to Homeland Security, aka USCIS, you must get it translated into English. If you do not, if you reply to the RFE and do not listen, Ricky, if you send a copy of this divorce decree to Homeland Security, aka USCIS, and it's not translated into English, you're going to get your K1 visa denied. They're not going to give you a second chance. You must get a copy of her divorce decree. You must translate it into English. And then you did that. Yes, it did. You did what? You translated it into English? Does the translation have an ATA number attached to it? Does it have a certification with the translation? Those are requirements for immigration. Okay? When I filed for Karina's K1 visa, okay, she has college transcripts I got translated into English. Her birth certificate I got translated into English. I used the Spanish group. They took care of everything. They don't pay me to say that. I just recommend the company because they're good, and they know exactly what you need. They know what immigration's looking for. So if you pay attention to what I'm telling you and you do what I tell you, you're going to be perfectly fine and get the RFE out from under your belt and get it over with. But you got to translate. You got to get it translated. Okay? You got it? You understand what I'm telling you? If you listen to me, you're going to be just fine. But you cannot send the divorce decree without a translation because it's inside the United States, and they will not accept it. And it will be your second shot at getting the RFE fixed, and they will deny the K1. Okay, great. That answers my question. Thank you. There you go. Perfect. I don't know how to do these emojis. Let's see. So I'll give you 100 for that. I don't know how these emojis thing work, but there you go. Karina, how was your day?
Good.
Was it good? What did you do today?
Good. Everything.
You was at work?
Yes.
Karina was at work today. She's understanding my questions in English pretty good, right?
So,
Always. Look at that. Hey, check that out. Karina's English she's doing really good. Now, I answered Ricky Robinson's question. And Ricky is a member of our channel, so we appreciate you being a member of the channel. Thanks for your membership, Ricky. Thank you also, Francois, for being a member of the channel. We appreciate the support. Remember, I'm retired now, so any pennies will help Diego with his trip to Hardee's with Karina for the breakfast that we have. I don't do the Mountain Dew salutes anymore, but Mountain Dew's, I just put that there for memory. I used to drink a lot of Mountain Dew when I was in the Navy. It kept me awake when I was up for 3 or 4 days, but it is what it is. Now, how much does an immigration attorney charge to file a K1 visa? $5,000, $4,000, $6,000? Don't be paying that kind of money, guys. Ricky Robinson, okay, I will have it translated to English. Use the SpanishGroup.org. Go online. It's a company in California. Upload the divorce decree, okay, to your computer. Email it to the Spanish group. Pay the fee. It's not very much money. They will send you an email once you submit it asking if you want the document notarized. No, you don't need to get it notarized. So don't spend that $20 on the notarization. It's not necessary. But email them a copy of your divorce decree. They will translate it for you in about 2 or 3 days. They will email it back to you in English. Print that plus the certification letter with the ATA number. And then that is what you're going to send to USCIS/Homeland Security. Okay? And then follow the directions that immigration gave you in the RFE. They told you specifically, put the cover sheet on top of the RFE paperwork, right? There's a specific order that you have to put the papers in. Then FedEx it or UPS it or DHL it back to Homeland Security, overnight it, and then you will get your K-1 visa approved. The quicker you get that document translated into English and sent to USCIS, the quicker you'll get your K-1 visa approved, and then you can get to the next step, which is getting all that stuff sent to the getting your stuff sent to the National Visa Center, and then they will send it to the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, and then I will help you with the setting up the interview. If you want me to help you with that, I can do that at the embassy in Bogota. Filling out the DS-160, I can help you with all that. If you get stuck on it, let me know. You can text me on the cell phone too if you want to. You have my phone number. Send me a text message. Hey, Diego, I'm stuck. And I will unstuck you so you can get through this. So you're on a roll. It was an easy RFE to fix, right? It wasn't too bad. And contact your fiance in Colombia and tell her that you got it under control and everything's going to be okay. You got to let her know everything's going to be fine. All right? Don't have her stressing this stuff. So anyway, what does she do in Bogota? Is she working? What is I don't know. I'm just being nosy. It's none of my business. But, let her get ready. Make sure you tell her that living in the United States isn't going to be at 10,300 feet above sea level. So she's going to feel a little different. Her body's going to have to change into getting accustomed to living at sea level after living in the mountains for where she's originally from. I was in Colombia, Bogota for 3 years, and I tell you, I couldn't stand being at 10,000 feet above sea level. My body protested every single day. But hey, I was with Karina, so I didn't care. I said, I can make it. I can get through this. And what I would also recommend is that you make a trip out to Bogota, and when you get the interview scheduled, go out there, fly out there, and help her with the medical exam. She's going to have a medical exam. You can pay cash you're going to have to pay cash for the medical exam, but you can use your credit card to pay for the chest x-ray. This is one of the rules of the U.S. Embassy in Bogota. She's going to have to get specific photographs taken of her, okay, from specific passport offices. They got to be a little bit bigger photos than the normal passport photos. So when you start getting down to the nitty-gritty of the embassy interview in Bogota, tell your fiance or fly out there and help her get the medical exam scheduled. She's going to have to get different passport photos. And Ricky Robinson, I will use the Spanish group. They don't pay me a dime, okay, to promote them, but I found that this company is very inexpensive and very quick, and they are an authorized translator for USCIS and for Homeland Security. They accept those translations. But remember, when you get that RFE fixed, things are going to move a little quicker. Your approved K-1 visa is going to go to the National Visa Center. The National Visa Center is going to get it. Then they want to do a background check on you and your fiance. Then they will send your paperwork to the U.S. Embassy in Bogota in a diplomatic pouch. The U.S. Embassy in Bogota will get it, and about 2 weeks after they receive it, they will send you an email, which is a packet 3, packet 4 email, giving you directions on how to schedule the medical exam, etc., and how to pay for the consular interview at the embassy in Bogota. Now, remember, when you first go online, once you get access to the embassy in Bogota through U.S. travel docs, don't be surprised if there's no embassy appointments available when you first start looking. What I did was I got on the U.S. travel docs. I got on there like 5 o'clock in the morning and 11 o'clock at night in order to find an open slot for an interview. So don't be stressing it that you can't find an interview day, because you will get one. You just got to keep looking, okay, twice a day, in the morning and in the nighttime. You're also going to have to be scheduling a biometrics interview in Bogota. Now, right next to the biometrics in Bogota, there's a great restaurant, Waffles and Crepes. After Karina did a biometrics in Bogota, we went into the Waffles and Crepes restaurant and I had a big fry up, eggs over easy, pancakes, hash browns, etc. Ricky Robinson, yes, I did tell her everything will be okay. There you go. Very good. And if you can, okay, when you get to this point in the process, try to accompany her to the visa interview, okay, in Bogota. See if you can accompany her to the visa interview. You can go. The U.S. Embassy in Bogota is not going to stop you from going to the interview with her. You can go. And then they won't ask you any questions, though. They're going to ask her the questions, but you can be there with her as moral support. And that will be a big plus in getting her K-1 visa approved. It's a big plus, okay? And then if you can, also accompany her to the United States once her K-1 is put in her passport. And then that way she can travel with you through the U.S. citizenship line when you land in the United States. I was in Colombia for 3 months with Karina when she finally got her K-1 visa approved. And we flew from Bogota to Miami, and I took her through the U.S. citizenship line because I'm a U.S. citizen, right? Well, I have to be to get a K-1 visa. The Border Patrol officer welcomed me back home, and he said, "Hey, welcome back, Diego. And you've been gone a while. They can see my travel history." I said, "Yeah, I'm back finally." And then they welcomed Karina to the United States. They welcomed her. Welcome to America, Karina. And then she went to her Border Patrol check-in. And then she got her check-in completed, no problem. And then we drove from Miami to here. I rented a Jeep Cherokee. Ricky Robinson, yes, I will try to go to Colombia. Hey, you spelled Colombia properly with an O. Very good. Most people spell it wrong during this time of the process. There you go. Yeah, go to Colombia, help her with the medical exam, take her to the medical exam, go to the visa interview, and then accompany her to the United States, fly back with her. And the process will go so much better once you land in the United States with the Border Patrol. Then they will issue her an I-94. The K-1 visa goes away, and then the I-94 kicks in, which is good for 90 days. And in those 90 days, you want to get married and get as much and try to get the K-1 the 2-year green card application processed within those 90 days. And one of the first things you're going to do when she gets to the United States, besides getting married, is get her a social security number. How do you get her a social security number? Well, you go to your social security office with her passport, her Colombian passport, and the I-94, and you apply for it, and you will get her a social security number in about 10 days. Now, it's going to come in on her maiden name. Don't worry. It's okay. Don't panic. It comes in on her maiden name. All you want right now is the number. Okay? Excuse me. Ricky Robinson, I'm going back to see her next month. Very good. That's great. Keep your boarding passes. Keep the proof of your trip. Get pictures with her family and her friends when you're there. You're going to need those, okay, maybe for the interview at the embassy or definitely for the 2-year green card application. Make sure you get lots of pictures with her family and friends. Print them off on your computer at home or go to Walmart and get them printed off. And then identify in the pictures who's in the pictures, where the pictures were taken, and the date. Get about 10 or 15 pictures, 20 pictures, okay? Ricky Robinson, I love that restaurant. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I think Karina and I, we explored just about every restaurant we could find in Bogota, mainly steak restaurants, steakhouses. Ricky Robinson, I would love to go to the interview. You can. The U.S. Embassy in Bogota will let you go to the visa interview. You can stand there next to her when she does the interview. They're not going to ask you any questions, okay? But you can be there with her. Now, if you are watching me from the Philippines, American citizen sponsors are not allowed to go to the visa interview in Manila at the U.S. Embassy in Manila. If you are watching me from London, England, or from the United Kingdom, the American citizen sponsor is not allowed to go to the visa interview at the U.S. Embassy in London. But in Bogota, Colombia, you can. Ricky Robinson, and yes, I will fly back together to bring her back. Very good. It will make it so much easier for her, okay, going through customs and going through the Border Patrol checkpoint. If the American citizen sponsor is accompanying the beneficiary on the K1, it makes it so much easier for the beneficiary. The Border Patrol will see everything is cool. She'll get her I-94, and then you can start the ball rolling to adjust status to your green card. Whew. And I'll help you with it. I mean, I've been doing this for over 13 years. I can do this in my sleep, guys. I don't want to see anybody fail because of silly mistakes on paperwork. Immigration's, look, they'll deny a green card application if you fill out the affidavit of support incorrectly, the 864. If you fill out the paperwork incorrectly, they will, especially on the affidavit of support, they'll deny the green card. And then you're going to have to be spending about $850 to fix it. Because then you're going to have to file a permission slip to reopen the case and refile the paperwork all over again. So don't make any stupid mistakes, guys. You can do this. I know you can. It's not difficult. It's just, if you don't know your way out of the corn maze, I will guide you through the corn maze and bring you out to the other side where you successfully get this green card and K1 visa done. And Karina here, she's here. She's learning English. She's doing good. And she's just hanging out. She's just learning the process of being in America. Right? You got your Florida driver's license? She did that. She got that the first time. She passed that. She got her driver's test done. Everything's going pretty smoothly. So we're just waiting for the 10-year green card part now. But it's going to take probably over a year before we hear from immigration. And remember, if you file for a work permit and a green card at the same time, don't be surprised if the work permit application gets a revocation. If it gets revoked, you're going to check your online status, your online account says, oh, your work permit, whatever, has been revoked. Don't worry about it. The only time you need to worry is if there's a problem with the green card. But if you have your green card approved, you don't need the freaking work permit. It becomes irrelevant. So why spend the money on a work permit when it's going to become irrelevant when the green card gets approved and you spent $1,440 on the green card and $260 or whatever it is for the work permit? Don't waste the money. You don't need the work permit. You need the green card. The green card overrides the work permit. The work permit does not give you permission to travel. It only gives you permission to work in the United States. That's it. So just don't waste your time. Filling out the paperwork for the work permit is a waste of time. Save the money. If you all pay attention, class, because I'm not going to give you bad advice. Okay? I've never made a mistake on this channel. 0 mistakes. 0 errors. Never a mistake on this channel. If you have a question, if I do not know the answer, which is probably a rarity, I will find the answer before I start running my mouth. But 99.9% of the time, I know the answer already, and I'll give it to you right here, saving you lots and lots of money. Ricky Robinson, thank you. I will continue to take all of your advice, and you and Karina are the best. Well, Karina appreciates that. We do. If you can hardly see her, I got to put the microphone here. Can you see her better now? There she goes. I got to use this microphone, I guess. Maybe I could get one that attaches to my shirt, but they look kind of stupid, right? Anyway. Okay, guys, I don't have any more. Do you have any more questions for me? What day is it today? Wednesday, right? Today's Wednesday, July 22nd, 2026. July is going by pretty darn quick. Soon it will be August. Then it will be September. Then before you know it, it will be Christmas. The time goes by faster and faster the older you get. Did you notice that? The older you get, the quicker the time goes. Amazing, right? I don't know what's the mathematical equation in physics for that. The older you get, the quicker the time goes by. I wonder what the mathematical equation is for that. Maybe it's v squared equals u squared plus 2as, or maybe it's s equals ut plus a half at squared, or maybe it's v equals u plus at. I don't know. I was a physics major. I love physics. I love astronomy. Francois, why is that? I don't know. Why does time go by quicker as you get older? It seems like a year is like, boom, it's gone. You know, when I was a teenager, it took forever for a year to go by. I'm like, when am I going to be 18? When am I going to be 21? It's taking forever. But then as soon as I hit, when you hit your 30s and 40s, going past your 40s, the time goes by quick. It's crazy, right? Maybe I'm going to have to sit down and do a mathematical equation and figure out why that is. Let's see if I can get an answer to that question using mathematics. Okay, guys, I'm out of here. Karina's she's relaxing. I'll come back for the next live stream. Remember, I do the live stream now on Wednesdays and Saturdays, twice a week. Monday seems like overkill. I mean, you know. And Francois Livingston, question for Karina. How are your classes going, Karina? She said she's going back to class in August. And how are they going? Good? Good. See? Yes. Karina said her classes are going good and class commences in August. So I had her for the whole month of July, which was great, right? Huh? She goes to school 2 days a week. Okay, so she said in Spanish to me, she goes to class 2 days a week. So that's 8 times a month. But in July, she was off for the whole month because it's a summer break for vacation. Okay, guys, I'll be back on, what's today? Wednesday? I'll be back on Saturday. I'll make some videos for you guys during the week. Find something to do. I'm studying for my real estate exam. I'm going to reinstate my real estate license. So remember, though, I cannot engage in real estate activities until I am registered with a broker, or else I'll get in trouble. So first I got to pass the exam. Then I got to register with Tallahassee, get my license renewed, and then I got to find a broker who will have me. And then once I get registered with a broker, then I can start selling houses. All right, Francois, you get the last word. Good night. See you on Saturday. See you guys on Saturday.